It has now been a year since The Wild Robot came out, and I decided to do my spoof of The Wild Robot announcement to celebrate it. So I did see this movie in theaters, and I did cry at the end. But since some of you might have seen my spoof of The Adventures of the Wolf and the Ocelot, you might already know that I'm doing my character idea for Roz, Fluttershy as Roz, aka Rosm7134. And if some of you know the YouTuber Electric Storm Studios, who already makes spoofs too, just like I might in the future, you might already know that he's doing Fluttershy as Roz's too. And when he announced that, it didn't go so well to me. So I decided to do something about it. I commented on Electric Storm Studios' post about The Wild Robot getting a sequel. Yes, that's right, it's getting a sequel. He told me that he stole my character idea for Roz, and that I thought of the Wild Pony first. Yeah, I was going to title it The Wild Pony as well. He told me that he didn't know that, he was sorry, and he came up with that idea before the movie came out. Well, to be honest, I actually did thought of my spoof of The Wild Robot at the beginning of summer 2024. So I forgave him and asked him to do Jenny as Roz instead, because they're both robots. Now, before you even get mad at me, the only reason why I asked him to do so is because I didn't want to change my character idea for Roz. But he told me that people like his idea of the Wild Robot, but all hope was not lost, because he asked if we could share Fluttershy as Roz, because that's what other spoofers do, share the main characters for their spoofs. And so with that, I was happy to accept it. And you know what? He actually taught me something. Spoofers can share the characters for their spoofs. The same thing went with me and David Channel when he was announcing his spoof of the Wild Robot. And he said that he was doing Dax Mallard and Uncle Dan for his spoof of the Wild Robot. Dax Mallard as Bright Bill and Uncle Dan as Long Neck. Now, unlike this one, I refused to get angry at David, and I told him that I was doing Dax Mallard and Uncle Dan for my spoof of the Wild Robot. But I asked him if he we could both share Dax Mallard as Bright Bill and Uncle Dan as Long Neck. But when he made a second poster of the Wild Pony, I asked him, since he said that we could share Fluttershy as Roz, I asked him if we could share the same title too, and he said that he thinks so. Or maybe I can change my spoof title, The Wild Pegasus, since Fluttershy is a Pegasus. And, well, I did agree on that for a few months, but sometimes I do think I should title it The Wild Yuccas. If you don't even know what the Yuccas is, it's the genus for horse, and that includes extinct ones, like this tarpan. And there's another spoofer named Animal and Human Ohana, I think. And he said that and I watched his project on The Last Quagga. Now, many people think it's a spoof of The Last Unicorn. Maybe I'll make my spoof of The Last Unicorn called The Last Woolly Mammoth. And I'm sorry I can't make a post about that. I mean, put a link in the comments, because I don't know how. But the one thing you can do to watch the first part of The Last Quagga is look it up on YouTube. You'll find it, I promise. Now, for the reason why I'm doing Fluttershy as Roz. Electric Storm Studios announced that he was doing Fluttershy as Roz because of her love for animals and nature. If you think that's the same thing I'm doing Fluttershy as Roz, well, think again. Because In the Cutie Mark Chronicles episode, after Fluttershy as a filly fell from Cloudsdale and landed on some butterflies, it just felt like it was almost like Roz encountering the butterflies on the tree. And after Rainbow Dash's Sonic Rainboom scared the animals, and after Fluttershy comforted, and when they gathered around her, it was almost like Roz hugging the animals. I asked if I shared my idea with Electric Storm Studios, and I asked him if that's a perfect idea for my spoof of the Wild Robot, and he replied, yes. So, I guess we just made a compromise. We agreed to share Fluttershy as Roz together. Now, that's not the only announcement I'm making. I won't actually do my spoof of the Wild Robot until I learn to use iMovie, which is the app that I'm using to make my spoofs. Anyway, stay tuned for my spoof of the Wild Robot, the Wild Yukas. Also, for those who saw the Minecraft movie, do you want me to make a spoof out of the Minecraft movie? If you do, the character who I'm doing for Steve is a secret. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the announcement. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you love nature. And don't worry, I'll still do animal information videos.